Hello guys, I hope you all can hear me clearly. I hope you all can hear me clearly. I hope you all can hear me clearly. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me clearly. Just want to make sure that you all can hear me clearly, okay? So we are now live. We are now live, and I welcome you guys to this section, to this weekly market insights. Today being the first market review of the month of May. So happy new month to all of you guys. I'm happy to see you guys in this new week, this new month, and it's going to be an amazing and a profitable trading month and week for all of us. Okay, so we're going to be able to manage our risk and be able to make profits this week and this month. Okay, so it's going to be a profitable month for all of us. All right, so let's get it started. We are actually going to, of course, the market has actually opened. This is already 10 p.m. GMT plus one. Of course, based on your time zone, you will be able to know when the market has actually opened. So I'm operating on GMT plus one, so you can convert to your time zone. So you all are highly welcome. We're going to go straight to the point. We're going to just go straight to the point. This live session is not going to waste much time because it's just like a build up of what we are doing last week. We've been holding this setup. I'm here on Euro USD. So first of all, from the weekly time frame, I've done this analysis before in the past, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time. We'll have this key level, which is actually a weekly order block that price came to tap into, and before that order block, we'll have this liquidity, this inducement liquidity that is closer to that order block, which made that level a very strong level of price reaction, and we are getting a reversal reaction within that level. Okay, so price has actually reacted from that level and is actually giving us a bearish order flow. So let's see what will happen. We're expecting price to actually push to this level, or like I said before last week, except we close above 1.1591, this setup, which is actually this bearish crab, ceases to exist. But as everything looks very good, have this head and shoulder chart pattern as well, so everything is looking good for this bearish momentum. But let's see what happens. We had NLP last week, so let's see what happens. We just have to hold on to the trade. Just like I said before, look for entry, look for sell entry and hold. Let's see how this plays out. We expect price to actually get to at least first profit objective, which is around 0.382. if that will happen, then we might as well see price testing levels of 1.0659 and levels of 1.0455, okay, which is actually a final target on this swing setup, which could actually take like 1 to 3 months. So we're looking at something around June, July, August. Yes, if this holds. So there's going to be a lot of scaling trade as this is actually playing out. But everything fails if price closes above 1.1591, which is actually a stop loss zone. But then let's see what happens on Euro USD. So on the lower time frame, we've had, like I said before, even from the 4-hour time frame, from the daily time frame, I've seen a lot of chart patterns that suggest that this bearish movement might hold. But then price is, this minor support is kind of holding price. Let's see what happens. Of course, we have a lot of movement to the upside. Price might come to react from this order block. So let's look at what price will do if price can be able to push into this order block, okay, or it might continue to fall to the downside. So let's see what happens as market has opened. Like I said before, you look at for entry. Of course, we have actually gotten this entry at this level of rejection block here, or probably from the high point we'll have this level of rejection block as well, of course, around this level, right? So look for your entry. Of course, you guys know how you do your entry. I'm just giving you an insight. So based on how you trade, look for entry on this setup for sell, okay, for sell. So that is that on Euro USD. Okay, so let's go to GDP USD. The same thing that's happening on GDP USD as well. So we have the setup, of course, this is actually a bearish cipher pattern. All the measurements were all checked. We're able to get a liquidity closer to that higher time frame key level. Then if we look at closer to that key level very well, let me clear all of this. Let's look at that key level very well, probably from the weekly time frame. Let's see what happens there on the weekly time frame. Now on the weekly time frame, you can see what is going on here. You can see that that order block is very clean, very clean. And of course, members of our community, I've taught them how to map out higher time frame key level. Okay, so that was a key level that price came to. Price, of course, didn't actually react from the order block, but it came to the week. So we'll have that level there, which is a very good level. We just wait for price to react from that level and then see if we'll have a harmonic setup into that key level. All right, so we're able to get a liquidity closer to that, inducement liquidity closer to that key level, and then price is actually, of course, the pattern completed, but then we'll have liquidity that is above that level. So price is actually reacting from that particular liquidity point. So we'll have to look for entry within that level. So if I've not gotten any entry at this level right now, it might be late to the party. Like I said before, stop loss is still above 1.3554. okay, so if price closes above 1.3554, this setup ceases to exist, meaning that we have to actually call it a day and then look for other pattern on other setups. Okay, but then we expect to see if price can be able to at least get to the first profit level objective of around, let me add in 0.382. If we can get to 0.382, which is around 1.2913, fine, that would be excellent. If we can be able to have price testing that level, that would be wonderful, and that would be great. Okay, and that would be great. I just want to make sure that this live is recorded. Just want to make sure that this live is recorded, that everybody can hear me clearly. Just want to make sure that this live is recorded. I'm actually using, I don't want to mess things up. I'm actually using a software to actually do this live. So I just want to make sure that everything is making sense. I just want to make sure that everything is making sense, okay, and I'm not messing things up. Okay, hope you guys can hear me clearly. I just hope everything is clear. Just hope everything is super clear. Everything is super clear. Okay, so let's keep moving forward. So we expect to see what happens here. So look for entry probably from the lower time frame. Look for your entry. Of course, you can see price coming back to this order flow here, mitigating this order block, and then giving us a reaction as well. We've actually had a couple of places we have gotten an entry. Okay, look at for a couple of places we have gotten an entry from these levels. Of course, this is actually a good level to look at for entry around here and also around here. This is an order block on the 2-hour time frame. We had this level as well, which is a very good rejection level. Price coming back to this level as well is a good level for us to look at for selling opportunity. Okay, so now we have this temporal or minor level of support. Okay, so let's see if price can be able to clear off this level of support, give us an order flow, correct back into that. We look for sales. We keep looking for sales to this level. So in as much as we'll be able to have this swing setup, we have to look at for scaling bearish trades to capitalize on that into this overall target. That is how to maximize profits. Okay, so that is that on GDP USD. Now let's go to USD CAD. For USD CAD, there is something that is going on here. This support since last month has been holding. Okay, this support since last month has been holding, but I'm expecting price. I really want price to complete this. I really want price to complete this bat pattern. It's just like a few pips into that level, not really much. 13 days, middle of the month, probably within a week. But I was expecting price to complete this bat pattern, okay, probably react from that key level. But then we have a lot of things here. Last week, based on how price closed last week, we have a lot of bearish, bullish momentum, and sellers exhaustion within this level. Of course, price was reacting from this key level right here. Okay, this is like an order block. Price is just reacting from here. Okay, so on the daily time frame, we also have liquidity closer to that key level. Okay, on the daily time frame, we'll have this liquidity that is closer to that key level. We'll have this liquidity here. So we are not just talking about signals on giving you guys signals. We also talk about technical analysis and smart money concept of price reaction. We look at the market based on structure and based on based on area of price reaction, and based on technical analysis of support, resistance, key levels, liquidity point, and rest of them. Okay, so we also consider those elements whenever we are looking at signals. We're not just giving signals, we look at areas of price reaction. Now within this level, we're able to have like one or two setup, okay, on the lower time frame, probably on the 1 hour time frame. On the lower time frame, we're able to have set up into that level. Let me look at those setup we had last week. I don't know if this one is one of them. Okay, we had this setup last week, just a minor setup. We're able to make some profit before price pushed the downside. Okay, there was a setup we also had, but I don't think it went successfully. I think it was this particular one as well, which of course gave us more profits, price pushing down. So let's see what happens. If we can be able to, if this support holds, then fine. But if it doesn't hold, then I'm expecting price to push to this key level and complete this bat pattern. Then we can now look at for a buying opportunity to the upside. But then, like I said before, based on what I'm seeing on Euro USD and all of that, based on what I'm seeing, we might see some consolidation either on the Euro USD, GBP USD, where this one will be moving aggressively to this level, meaning that this sell is sponsored by buyers. If we can be able to see price pushing to this key level, or probably to this key level, and one of the opposite correlated pair is actually consolidating, then it's a good sign. For now, if this level holds, that will be fine. But then at the moment, we don't have any setup. At the moment. Let me look at this level. We don't have anything at the moment. We're looking out for crab into this level. I don't really know. Probably on the lower time frame. Can we have a crab into that level? Let me just check if we can have a crab into that level. But for now, except I look at the measurement, of course, harmonic pattern is a measurement based approach. So let me look at the measurement to know if that is if that will be able to hold. 1.902. Yeah, 1.902 is a good level of reaction of the crab pattern. Okay, but then we have to look at for the BC projection, not just looking at the, of course we have 0.618 price reaction, which is still fine. We're not just looking at the 1.902 and the 1.618, of course. 1.902 fine, but where is the BC projection or BC extension movement right now? Where is the BC extension movement? Do we have more than 3.618 into that level? It's a good question to ask. Let's look at that. So this will define if we're going to have, okay, I think this is going to be, of course, you can see 2.618 complemented that 1.902, which is very, very excellent. You can see the power of harmonics right here, right now on the live. I've been able to spot a pattern or a setup on USD card. I've been able to spot a setup on USD card. Now it's an extension move, but then I can look at on this level. I can just hold it here. Okay, this is now, we now have an area of focus. That is one thing about harmonics. So it gives us an area of an area of focus. So we now have an area of focus area we have to be looking at for price reaction. We can just make this so that it can be a little bit clean. So we now have an area of price reaction. You can see how you can see how price is bouncing off of this level. We have this, we call it stop hunts. We call it stop hunts, or price institutional players pushing price, dumping price to the downside, taking out stops, and then aggressively reversing to the upside. Okay, so we are seeing that kind of reversal and rejection and all of that. But then we have this level, which is a very good level, very wonderful level, and this is a good level to buy, a very good level to buy right here. It's a good level to buy based on the 4-hour time frame, on 4-hour projection. Okay, it's a very wonderful good level to buy. Okay, so and also on the 15 minutes time frame, we can look out for other types of entry, flip entry, reversal candlestick, the patterns, and all the rest of them. It's a good level for us to buy. You can see price just dump into this order block. Of course, you can see this is an order block with an inducement as well. This is an inducement. You can take this as an inducement, and then please validate this this order is a small gap into that level. Okay, so and if that doesn't hold, we still have this rejection block here, which price can still push down to. So let's see what happens. Of course, you can monitor price movement on the 4-hour time frame. See if you're going to see that consistent bullish move, then you can look out for entry. So let me just arrange all of these right now and put them in a group. I didn't want this live section to be long. I just want it to be very short and straightforward. But then if we have setup, we have to make sure that we're able to get that sorted out before we can proceed. Okay, so I'm going to put in the target and the stops for this particular setup. Okay, so I'm going to put in the target and the stops. So for the target and the stop, we look at from A to D. So we're looking at take profit level. So we're looking at 0.382 first level, and final target at 0.786, which is 1.4388. Now stop loss, of course, like I said before, stop loss, I used to always say, whatever setup you're looking at, if this level does not hold, stop loss is still 1.3696. So we keep looking at for buying opportunity until this stop loss is hit. Okay, so that is just what I have to explain to you guys on this setup right now. So this is a very wonderful setup. It's a good one. It is valid. It is very, very valid. Okay, so that is that on USD card. So let's rush through other ones. USD Japanese yen. Of course, this setup has been here for over 3 weeks now. Yeah, for over 3 weeks now, since April 23rd. But then we started looking at for this setup from March, ending of March, because price was actually here. When we started looking at for this setup, price was actually around this level. So we've been holding. If price can be able to correct into this first take profit objective, we might get a retracement to the downside to clear off this liquidity, then a continual push to the upside. So then we'll have this kind of level of resistance trend line as well. So of course, you can see it coincides with this level of resistance into that level. Okay, so price might react from this level. If price can be able to react from that level, from this level, which is actually our first target, we might be able to get a sell from here, depending if we're able to have a harmonic setup into that key level, because this is an order block. So probably on the 1 hour time frame, we might have a harmonic setup into that key level. We're looking at something like this. From this level, you can have kind of a buy, but I need to measure this. But then let's monitor the price as price. Let's keep an eye closer to this setup as price action develops. Okay, so let's look at what happens. Right now, everything looks great. For this setup. Okay, so we don't have much thing to say right there. Now for NSD card, Now for NSE card, price has actually been consolidating, trying to push to the upside, sellers regaining control, pushing market to the downside and all of that. But then this setup is just a temporary, just a minor setup. It's not really that of high probability. But then we've been able to make some profits, partial staking profit have been taken around this level. But then, like I said before, it's a low hanging fruit kind of setup. It's not that of high quality based on where price is reacting from. Of course, we'll have a lot of key level above. So, but then this setup still holds. We are now looking at this bearish order flow. Of course, let's see what happens here. The price can take out this high, or probably take out this low. We might see price pushing. Well, we might see price pushing to this level of 0.8073. Okay, so there is nothing to do on this setup. We don't have anyone at the moment. We just have to hold on to what is going on here. Now for GDP card, this is a very massive gap down right now to this key level. I don't know what happened. Price might push all the way up to clear off, to balance, or to actually fill up this gap. But then you can see how price tagged at this 0.5 level, which is 1.8278. We are still having this bearish shark. Of course, at this level now, we might look out for 5-0 pattern to the upside, but then have to look for reversal candlestick confirmation, look out for your entry pattern confirmation to know if this setup will hold or not. Okay, it's a very wonderful, excellent trade. Last week I told you guys that I need to see price taking out this liquidity point here and then reacting from this key level, and that was exactly what happened. So in the academy, this is what we teach our students. This is what I teach. This is what I do. I tell them that wait for that reaction, wait for that exhaustion, wait for that stop loss hunt, wait for the institutional players to come into the game to move the market, and you're going to see all these signs based on the candlestick confirmation. These are the things we teach, and that was exactly what happened on this setup. Even though it's a low hanging fruit kind of setup, it's a low probability setup, but then it played out, and it played out fine. Okay, so that is that on GDP card. Now for Euro AUD, we don't really have any setup here. Like I say, we don't have any setup here, but then price is reacting from, price might react from 0.786. I don't know, we don't really have, like I say, don't have a setup here. But then Gatling might hold, but then I don't like the shape of, I don't like the symmetry of the XABCD. The XABCD set, the symmetry is not looking harmonic. It's not giving us that harmonic. It's not giving us that harmonic kind of structure. Okay, it's not all about the retracement and the extension. We're also looking at the harmonic structure as well, the symmetry and the symmetry of the price action. But then it's still very, very good. The symmetry is fine. It's looking great right now. It's looking great right now. Okay, it's looking great right now. So we might have this Gatling. Like I say, we might have this Gatling. So I'm going to put all of this in a group and group them, and then lock them up. That's a very good key level right there. It's a very good key level right there. So our price is actually almost pushing to this key level. So let's see what happens if price can be able to get here. So that is that on Euro AUD. Okay, so for stop loss and target, we can't see right now until this pattern complete. So probably within the week I might send information on that. Now for GDP NZD, price is actually pushing to this order block. Now I was expecting this order block to complete. That was last week. I was expecting this order block to complete. That was last week, but then unfortunately price just opened here. That was on Sunday. Market open, just came into this level, couldn't mitigate this order block and push all the way up. And then before the end of last week, around Tuesday, Wednesday, we had this bearish momentum to this level. Then now I don't know if this order block will still hold. So we'll have to see reaction on the 4-hour time frame to know if this will hold or not. Okay, so we'll have to see reaction to know if this will hold or not. Right, so that is that. Now for The same thing with this guy as well. You can see price has also pushed into this other block. Okay, so price have pushed into this other block. So let's see what happens if this will hold or not. We don't really know, and we can see that where price is coming from is very important than where it's going. What price is carrying is very important than where it's going, because what is carrying will determine where it's going to rest. If it's carrying a heavy transaction, a heavy load, it will require a very strong support that we can be able to go and rest. If it's a minor load or minor transaction liquidity is carrying, it could actually, react from a minor kind of level of support. But then if it's a huge liquidity transaction is carrying from the upside, from the top, it will require a huge strong level of support to hold price. So let's see what happens. Now price is already reacting from the other block. Let's see if we're going to have any reaction, or probably price might break it and continue pushing down. But then the setup still holds until 1.8798 is taken out. Okay, setup still holds, and then final target at 1.9775. The same thing applicable to GDP NZD as well. So both of them are the same thing. Then AUD NZD, we had, like I told before, we had a setup here, but then the setup has actually completed. It has actually completed. I don't really know. I thought I have that setup. What is going on? I don't even know where I saved it. Pardon me, guys. It was a setup into this level. This was a setup here. I don't think I can be able to bring that out. It was a Gatly kind of. Yeah, it was a Gatly. It was a Gatly into this level. Yeah, 0.786. Let me look at that. Yeah, 0.786. It was a Gatly into this level. Okay, it was a Gatly into this level, 0.786. So successful pattern, successful move. Final target at 0.786 has been achieved. Let me look at that as well. Okay, beautiful, almost there. In fact, at this point in time, you just have to consider closing the trade if you are still holding on this particular setup. Okay, so like I said before, I don't really want this live section to be long, but then we need to look at for all the setups and all the rest of them. We don't have anything on Euro GDP. We don't have anything on Euro GDP. AUD NZD, AUD USD, we don't have any setup. CHF Japanese yen, yeah. For CHF Japanese yen, we are still looking at this alternate bat on the higher time frame. I don't really know. Price will have a lot of huge, strong, bullish momentum to this key level, but we have seen this rejection. We need this confirmation to hold. If not, this alternate bat might not hold. But then it's still a great setup, but we'll have to see the reaction, the confirmation from these candles. We have to see the confirmation, but then it's still a great setup. Stop loss is still above 177.6602, and then final target at 168.0602. Look for entry confirmation within this level for a sell to the downside. Okay, so based on this reaction, price is reacting from a key level. Let me do that key level very well for you guys to see. Remove all of this information. I don't think I need all of this right now. So this is on the weekly time frame. So this is the key level right here. This is the key level right here. That's a mistake. The key level right here. You can see our price came into that key level and it's reacting from that key level right now. So if this key level doesn't hold price, then price might push all the way up to 1800. But then I hope this holds. Of course, we'll have a setup into that key level as well. So okay, so we'll have a setup into that key level, of course. So let's see what happens. If this holds, then of course we might see price, coming to this level and then probably testing levels of 1697832. So it's a great setup. Like I said before, look out for entry. Okay, look out for entry. So GDP JPY, we had this setup before the close of the market last week. So, and price has given us this inducement as well, which is a good sign. Which is a very good sign. So if price can be able to push into this level, we might look at for a selling opportunity to the downside. Okay, so we might look out for a selling opportunity to the downside. Okay, so this is a great setup. Okay, stop loss is still above 194.6187. Target, final target at 187.9651. So look for entry. This is a good order block to also sell from. So look for entry. Okay, look for sell entry into this take profit level. Okay, so that is that. Euro JPY, the same thing with Euro JPY. We'll have a setup as well. Okay, even though it's not looking that clean, but then we also have this order block here also. The same price action movement with GDP JPY as well. So we'll have all of this information. So let's see what happens. If price doesn't mitigate it, keep pushing down, then fine. But then if price can be able to return back into that level, give us confirmation, then we can look out for sell to this level. We can look for the level of stop loss and the level of target as well. So KJPY, the same thing with KJPY. KJPY own is even very, very beautiful. Very beautiful, and it looks very clean and very sharp, like very, very sharp. Like you can see price have already mitigated this order block and giving us reaction. In fact, this is like an instant entry, of course. It's like an instant entry from here. Okay, stop loss of course can actually, you know, it can play around within that level. You can just play around within that level, and then final target at, this is shark, so final target could be around 0.5, which is 1:1, 1:9 point something, which is beautiful, and 1:4, this is excellent. So this is a good setup, a very good setup right now, very good setup. Then of course, like I said, trading is all about probability. Okay, it might be a great setup, then it might also hit stop loss, so you have to apply proper risk management. Very, very, very important. Risk management is very important. No matter the kind of setup you're looking at, you have to look at it from the place of risk. From the place of risk, very important. Look at it from the place of what? Risk. Okay, it's a great setup, a very beautiful and wonderful setup. Okay, so the price can be able to clear this this level of support or swing low here. Beautiful. Okay, so it's a good setup. You can look at for entry. A great setup right here. Now let's look at ADCHF. Now for ADCHF, this has actually taken a very long time. It's a correction. I know it's a correction. Like I said before, final target is still at 0.5569. It's a correction. I don't think this level can hold price. It's a correction. If price can correct back into this key level, they might have that sell. We might see something like this down before pushing up. So that is why it's taking a lot of time, because it's a correction into filling of the fair value gaps and reacting from order block. Okay, so it's a good stuff. The same thing with cash CHF as well. They are all corrective move. It's not impulsive. That is why it's taking a lot of time. So it's a corrective move. So we expect price to probably react from 0.6046. Final target is at 0.6182. Okay, so I mean that is that on all these guys. So price has actually pushed back into this key level and giving us rejection as well. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. USD CHF, we don't have a setup on USD CHF. No single setup. Okay, still the same movement with them, but we don't have any setup. It was January 5. Since this year we have only one setup. December, January, and after February, March, it pushed all the way down. That was yours. Nothing else at all. So for NAS 100, I really want price to react from either from this level of support that was broken. I want price to probably test this level after clearing of this liquidity point here. Okay, or probably price might push to this level for a sell, because I'm looking at this setup. I just want this setup to hold, then I can go down to the lower time frame and look for entry, look for selling opportunity. There is no way I'm taking this trade. There is no way I'm taking this trade. This is just for analysis sake, because this will take a lot of, it will take more, it will take, if it might even take years. Yes. So I'm only looking for this to hold. If this can hold, then fine. We can look at for selling opportunities or selling setups on the lower time frame, right? So that is what we can look at for. We can look at for selling setups on the lower time frame. We'll have to start looking at for setups of this form. Okay, we'll start to look out for setups of this form, a bearish harmonic setup that will keep selling to the final target. Okay, so that is just it on this NAS 100. The same thing with S&P 500 as well. The same thing with S&P 500 as well. So if this can hold, if price can correct back, fill this other block probably before the end of this week or by next week, then we can look at for selling opportunity on the lower time frame. We can start to look at for selling opportunity on the lower time frame. Right now, I'm even seeing one right now because I don't know if I'm looking at this as a deep crab. I'm looking at this deep crab. Okay, so these are the patterns we have to start looking at for on the lower time frame. We look at for this type of pattern, then we wait for displacement and reaction. So this is a deep crab, which of course might complete around that level. So these are the kind of pattern we have to start looking at for on the lower time frame. Immediately price takes that level, we start to look at for this type of what pattern on the lower time frame to start to capitalize on that. Okay, so this will bring us to the end of this live section. There is a particular I don't know if I can be able to get that. Let me see if that is possible. For gold and cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. For gold and Bitcoin, I don't have. For Bitcoin, I don't have a setup on Bitcoin. We are still holding on to BTC. Let me check. I think I have. Let me see if I can open that up right now. Okay, it's not live. Let me look at most of my bookmark. Let me do that immediately. Okay, so but for gold, I don't really have a setup on gold. I don't have anything on gold. Let me look at that right now. I don't have anything on gold. Okay, this is gold on the 15 minutes time frame. I think I have. Price is already reacting. Of course, it's giving us something, but then I think it's actually giving us the setup. Let me even look at. I think I have the setup here. Beautiful, yeah. So this is actually a crab pattern. Yeah, it's a crab pattern, and then we have achieved first targets. Overachieve first targets. Okay, overachieve first target, and then you can see price came back. Let's look at what price did here. Let me first of all remove this as well. Let me just look at. Let me even switch this indicator off. I don't need you right now. Look at what price did here. Price came back, took out this inducement. I think we had or call supply to demand flip. Okay, supply to demand flip. Well, this is a level of supply, and then price came back into this level of what demand, which is the order block. So we had this supply to demand flip type of entry, and that was all we had here. So still very good, very good, looking very sharp. So final target is at 0.618, which is around 3295.5964. Final target as well can be around 3320 dollars. Okay, 0.6984 of gold. So everything looks great for this setup on gold, right? So for BTC, let me switch this guy off. So for BTC, I have some couple of cryptocurrency and monetary. Okay, so for BTC, before the end of last week markets, towards the weekend and throughout the weekend, price was actually, we had a drop on BTC after the rally. We had a drop on BTC right now. I don't know if the price is actually correcting to the upside, but then We had that drop from Saturday, from that was from Friday, Saturday. We started having that from Friday, Saturday. We started having this kind of correction right now, and then you can see our prices also. So price corrected back into this other block. Okay, and you can see that this is a very good level of this was a very good level of resistance that price broke out of. So there is almost 80-90% probability that price might likely come back into this level to first of all feel this imbalance and then react from this level of resistance that was broken. If there's any liquidity lying above those levels that price missed, price can come back, grab those liquidity and then give us reaction. So I got an entry on the lower time frame. Okay, I got an entry on the lower time frame. It was actually a kind of a demand to, it was a supply to demand flip type of entry. Okay, we had that supply to demand flip type of entry here. Then I saw the reaction, then I took the entry. Of course, we might as well see a sell, continuous sell. We might see a continuous sell from this level, but let's see what price will do. Okay, it's all about probability. It's all about probability. Nobody knows anything. It's all about probability. It's all about probability. Like I said, where price is coming from is more important than where price is even going, because whatever price is carrying will require where it's going to stop or where it's going to rest. If it's carrying a heavy liquidity point, it will require a major level of resistance to go and rest. If it's a minor one, it can react from anyone. So it depends on what price is carrying. Like I said, the magnitude of the transaction price is carrying makes it, move and rest at any level it wants to. So it's a probability stuff. Nobody knows anything. Okay, we are only trading based on what we can see. So this will bring us to the end of this live section. I hope you guys were able to get 1 or 2 value from this section. So we have to go back to the chart and go back to the chart and look at all of this setup. Okay, and then if you're interested to learn how I trade, if you're interested to learn harmonics with combination of smart money concept, I invite you to join our HSM Academy. Right now we are still working on the website. It's not yet ready, but you can as well join the mentorship on the Telegram. Just send me a message. I'll grant you access. Once immediately our website is live, we'll have the mobile app where you can access the training. I will also have the website where you can as well access the training as well. So you have the mobile app on your phone, and then we'll have a WhatsApp community for faster information to send messages as well. So it is a continuous journey. It's not a journey that you have to come and rest. It's a journey that is filled with experience and proper risk management. So you have to keep learning every day, and I hope that as you keep learning and keep learning the most important things, which is mastering your strategy and mastering your emotions and being able to have a good understanding of risk, you'll be able to make profitable trade day in, day out. So I wish you guys all the best as we round off this live session. So I'm going to see you guys by next week as we also analyze the outcome of this trade this week. So with these few points, I'm going to end this live right now. Thank you all for those who are going to watch the replay, and I wish you guys a successful and a wonderful